Welcome to the video. It's a Spider-Man tier list, including a brand new day, which I just watched for a second time last night. So I think I'm past the recency bias here. Honestly, I'm gonna start the tier list with this. Um, None of these movies are bad movies. Honestly, I wholeheartedly believe that. I love every single one of them. There's just others that I prefer over. All right, so the first one. Also, these are not in chronological order. I don't know why. I'm too lazy to shuffle them. First one up, Across the Spider-Verse. All right, so this is a hot take. I like Across the Spider-Verse more than Into the Spider-Verse. I know it's not a full story and it leaves on a cliffhanger, but seeing Miles struggle to fit in because he wants to do the right thing is so satisfying. The animation and music somehow are even better in the sequel, and that's even after saying Spider-Verse is perfect. All right, Across does a fantastic job at bringing new stakes to the trilogy while not being too much. All of the characters are fun in how they play off with each other. This is easily a. All right, so next up we got Far From Home. This movie, I'm gonna be honest, it seems to just take forever to get to the point. It feels very messy as well with all the things that it did. Like it set up Nick Fury being off Earth, the Edith glasses being given over to Peter doesn't really make sense. The lack of New York, which is kind of part of the charm, the relationship with Happy and May, which I absolutely despise in the trilogy. I think it's just so cringe and so weird, and it's at like some of its worst. It's pretty bad in No Way Home too. I hate it. And then also the blip, like it was a lot. It was a lot for a movie. And even then, the blip does lead to a funny joke with the Flash trying to get a drink on the airplane, and then um, I'm gonna say Zendaya. I know it's MJ, but there's multiple MJs in these. Anyway, when Zendaya's like, he blipped. He's not technically 21. It's great. You know, and honestly, like the third act is fantastic as well, especially Mysterio. I love Mysterio. Design wise, he is my favorite Spider-Man villain. I love his design. It's so unique. I love like the little fishbowl, and I think Jake Gyllenhaal captured it perfectly. Super big fan of that. Uh, but the rest of it's just kind of dull, and I just have a hard time ranking it any higher than.
Crap, crap, mega crap.
Next up, we got Into the Spider-Verse. Woo! When this came out, holy cow, dude! Everyone has talked about this movie to death. It is a perfect 10 out of 10 movie. I don't really know what else to say. It does a great job at exploring a very big concept in a very concise runtime. It's a great origin story, never gets dull, and it also tells a complete story. Whereas Across the Spider-Verse is kind of like yes, it works on its own, I think, but it's even better because of the fact that there's going to be a part two. You know what I mean? Like I'm literally so hyped for Beyond. Anyway, Into the Spider-Verse is a very easy. The Amazing Spider-Man. I love this movie, and damn does it hold up. All right, the chemistry between all the characters, top tier. Parker calling Flash Eugene, as well as Flash like consoling him after Uncle Ben dies, implies a deeper history. Gwen is a competent love interest with an overwhelming amount of chemistry, probably because they're dating. Anyway, Ben and May feel like a loving couple doing their best to raise their surrogate son. I love Ben's. I know a right cross when I see one. Do I need to call someone's father? Or May's like secrets have cost, they're not for free. I also love like Spidey tells the kid to put on the mask, it will make you strong. Every single character feels so close and so real. I also love how tactile the suit is. Oh my gosh, dude, everyone made fun of it for being like the basketball suit. I do not care. It's beautiful and I just want to touch it. And I also love how spider-like Andrew is with all the poses midair and crawling, all over the lizard to web him up like in the cocoon. It's he also just has some of my favorite quips. Oh no, my weakness is small knives. Ah, it's so good. Okay, Toby Glazers. I love Toby. No hate. They hate to see me coming. All right. My only issues are very small with this one. First of all, the Oscorp guy, cannot remember his name. He disappears after the lizard throws the limo off the bridge, and his plot line is just dropped completely. I also think the crane scene isn't insanely necessary, despite the fact that I like it. Like he could just swing from the buildings, but okay. Amazing Spider-Man 2. Ugh. This is this one has some issues. It has some of the greatest Spider-Man moments out of every film, and it has all of the worst. The score, the cinematography, the Spidey quips, the Aunt May and Gwen stuff, all fantastic. But its villains are awful, and the writing is pretty bad most of the time. Even the Gwen stuff like is kind of back and forth and wishy-washy. It it just, because it has some of the best and it has some of the worst, it just equates to mid. I'm personally gonna slap it here in Broken Legos. Largely due to Gwen's death scene, because it literally makes me bawl every time. And if you can make me cry consistently for like 20 to 30 minutes with your movie, okay, like that scene is a masterpiece. I'm just gonna come out and say it. That scene is a masterpiece. It is a masterpiece scene in a terrible film. And yeah, I'm a little biased. Spider-Man, Brand New Day. Okay, I just watched this twice to confirm it wasn't recency bias. And holy cow, is this a great Spider-Man film. Fantastic swinging scenes. Action ripped straight from the Insomniac games. It also fixes every major issue I had with where No Way Home left off. The trailer, even like just the teaser trailer, low-key spoils every single thing in this movie, and I was a little worried they wouldn't be able to put everything they showed in the trailers into the movie in a meaningful way. Like, I'm just gonna say spoilers. I mean, like, what do you mean, like the Hulk and the Punisher and the Hand and some of the most iconic, cover art villains are in the movie, and then like it all, and another character which I won't say her name. It's Sadie Sink's character. Like, I don't know how they pulled it off, but it was fantastic. Ugh. Yeah, it was peak. I'm gonna slap it up here in the. All right, next up we got Homecoming. This is a very fun Spider-Man movie with great action, funny moments, and a really great villain. All right, the car scene with Adrian Toomes is so peak. I mean, the whole movie is great. Just doesn't feel like an S tier, I will say. Tom does have the best homemade suit. That is one thing. Okay, I love Amazing Spider-Man, but his homemade suit is cheeks. It's bad. I love pretty much everything about this movie. I don't know. I can't quite put it in, in the woo tier. So I'm just gonna slap it here and
The Amazing Spider-Man!
we got No Way Home. Okay, I loved watching this opening weekend before the spoilers, but it just doesn't hold up on rewatch. I'm gonna be completely honest. I cried for like 5 different emotions in the theater. A little bit of nostalgia. Aunt May's death hit particularly hard. It was great. Also, it does take like an hour to get good. Honestly, I would say like the apartment scene, whenever they get to the apartment, that's when the film gets good. The last, like, all of that is great, but the first like hour is a snooze fest, and it is literally so hard to get through. It really does feel like it's crutching on nostalgia, but I will also say it is a blast thing seeing the 3 Spider-Men come together and they help cure some ass. It's a little messy, pretty slow, not bad, just it's not my favorite. I'm gonna put in. All right, so this was the first Spider-Man movie I ever saw. I was maybe 4-ish. I was born in 2005 when my uncle rented the DVD, and it's way better when you're older because you can appreciate that no matter how messy it is, like narratively speaking, it is so much fun. I love the Bully Maguire scenes, and I love everything about Sandman until he gets turned into mud. After that, I don't really care. The JJJ stuff is all great, as well as the Harry Osborn scenes. Like that whole fight scene between them, so good. It really is just a little convoluted and all over the place, but it's still pretty fun to watch. I prefer Amazing Spider-Man 2 over it. All right, next up we got Spider-Man 2. It's kind of peak. I love how it starts in the action with Peter delivering pizzas, for pizza time. Uh, the Doc Ock stuff is great. The action is great, and the losing the powers trope was done best here. It is so good. This is also the only Toby film I like Aunt May in. The other ones, I just don't really care for. I think she's like this old hag. I'm like, yeah, she's kind of sweet, but nothing against the actress. I think maybe it's just how it's written. The campy dialogue is just not my forte. But yes, yeah, Spider-Man 2, she did great in. I love the, I believe there's a hero in all of us speech. It's pretty phenomenal. I'm gonna put it here. I'm actually gonna rearrange this. I think Into the Spider-Verse, I like number 4. So yeah, Across, Tasm, Spider-Man 2, Into the Spider-Verse, Brand New Day. Okay, yeah, I like that. That's good. Okay, and the very last one, the one that started it all, Spider-Man 1. I'm gonna get so much hate for this. Outside of the wrestling and the Uncle Ben death scenes, and setting aside the fact that this paved the way for superhero films like in the future, this one's just so boring. Okay, I love Gabi, but I just do not care for these characters. The dialogue is kind of clunky. It's very exposition-y. It's got its moments, but overall, just eh. Like Harry and Peter don't really feel like friends. Him and MJ, like there's just no chemistry at all. I really, I don't know. It's kind of not great. I don't like it. I have a very hard time watching it. I think out of all of the Spider-Man movies, I watch it the least. Um, and you know what? Now that I'm saying this out loud,
Crap, 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 mega crap.
anyway, thank you guys for watching. If you're ever having a rough day, just remember that anyone can wear the mask. You don't have to do this alone. You know, there is a hero in all of us that keeps us kind and honest. The ability to do something great, you know, again, kind of gives us that responsibility. And honestly, you don't even need a mask to be like Spider-Man. You can just do it on your own volition. And it would be pretty cool if I had powers, but I don't. I got Batman's powers and Spider-Man's money, so we're pretty much cooked. Anyway, goodbye. Love y'all.